Racer TV. I'm your host, Rachel Ayers. Joined with me is five-time GNCC champion Rodney Smith. We're here at the second stop of the Grand National Cross Country Series in Washington, Georgia. So, what do you see the track conditions being like today?
Well, Rachel, Georgia's a little bit more typical GNCC. It's a lot tighter. You got a lot more woods, a little bit of tree roots and stuff out there, but it's got that red Georgia clay. It's going to be a lot slipperier than what we saw up there in Florida. I think we're going to see a lot tighter race here this weekend. I think it's going to be a good race.
We know U-Haul went out there in the sand last week and showed everyone how it was done. Do you think he's going to be up there this week, or are we going to have new people in this different Georgia clay?
Well, definitely. U-Haul's coming off a strong season last year, and he showed that he's strong wherever we're at. But I think you're going to see a lot of other guys up there this weekend that maybe didn't do so good in Georgia or in Florida that can ride this Georgia clay a little bit better. Georgia's usually a typical race. It's going to bring out a few different winners and stuff, and you'll see a different podium, I think, this weekend.
We definitely want to keep an eye on U-Haul and Rodney, and let's go down to the start with Jason.
All right, thanks a lot, Rachel and Rodney. Jason Wygant down here on the starting line for the Maxxis General GNCC, and let's talk about the riders who have gathered here. A lot of people focus on the number 4, the super rookie of Charlie Mullins. He doesn't seem to have any clue how he's doing it, just as much as we don't. But so far, so good for Charlie Mullins, a runner-up in our opening round in the sand of Florida. But he, just like everyone else, is gunning for the 111 of U-Haul Salminen, just 2 bikes down to Charlie's right. But before we start racing here, let's get an idea of what they're racing on. Let's go to our Scott USA helmet cam and take a closer look at the General GNCC course.
And here's the look to that Scott USA helmet cam. Completely different than what we saw 1 week ago in Florida. That was wide open. It was sandy. It was looped out. This is traditional GNCC terrain here. Tight woods, roots, rocks, ruts, a little bit of mud thrown in as well. It's going to be a lot harder to make passes on this racetrack. It's also maybe not as physically taxing, but mentally you've got to be very, very focused and very, very smart on a tough track like this. Well, that's our Scott USA helmet cam. Now it's time to go racing. The Maxxis General GNCC underway into the first turn. U-Haul Salminen controlling it around the outside, and a big pileup. A bunch of riders down in a heap in turn number 1. Get another look at it. Whoa, Rodney Smith is one of those riders down. The number 31, our 5-time GNCC champ, has crashed in the first turn again. Salminen and Glenn Kearney trying to get away. Let's go back to the replay and find out who exactly grabbed that racetrack's hole shot. It's actually Mullins who grabs the hole shot there. Salminen able to work his way around him in turn number 2. Charlie Mullins will get the racetrack's hole shot buddy, but soon Salminen able to get out front, as you see in that second turn. And now it's actually Glenn Kearney on the FMF Suzuki trying to challenge him. Mullins there as well. This is where U-Haul is normally fast. He absolutely hauls the mail. U-Hauls it, if you will, early in these races. Let's see if Mullins and Kearney can run with it. Looking for Rodney Smith here, who we know went down in the first turn. He did the same thing in Florida. That was the end of his day. Unable to mount a comeback. Here is Rodney, and he's looking back. Maybe some problems again. He pulls out. Oh, he's actually trying to straighten the front end out. Actually had to bang his bike up against a tree to get those handlebars straight. So Rodney once again has his work cut out for him, while U-Haul immediately into controlling this race. Now it's Shane Watts, the Australian of the KTM, moving into second. And there is Kearney, also of Australia, in the number 3 position. And how about this? Paul Whibley from New Zealand in 4th. So the Australasians getting it done here today with the Finnish rider U-Haul out front. There's Nate Canny. Well, he's a New Yorker. He's tried and true red, white, and blue, and he's trying to hold on. Now we're onto the motocross track. They call it Aonia Pass, a very popular motocross track here in Georgia. And U-Haul Salminen getting it done. He's got a big lead, and he can haul on a motocross track just as well as he does early in the woods in these GNCC events. Kearney has now moved into the number 2 spot. Let's talk to him.
Well, today's plan, is always to go out and get a good start, and the conditions here are perfect, really. It's dry. Seems like the track may be a little faster than last year, which suits me. It's dry and hard packed, which is nice. There's going to be a few bog holes, I'm sure. Just a good start and run up front. Last year I struggled here in the mud and the ruts, so I've worked on that in the off-season, and looking forward to getting out there and going well today.
And Kearney is going well into that number 2 spot. Now, he was down in the first turn in Florida with Rodney Smith. We didn't get to see him toward the front of the pack all day. Much better start for the young Australian and the FMF Suzuki here in Georgia. Mullins got a solid start. He is now battling with Watts. And it's Mike Lafferty in there as well. So a wide variety of talent. Lafferty is always strong early in these races. Here is Whibley now fighting for his life. battling with Ryan Vos. Vos, a newcomer to the series. He's a young rider out of England. So we've got a lot of different countries represented up in the top 10 early here at the Maxxis General GNCC. And this is the most treacherous part of this track. The Suzuki Special Test, a series of tractor tires. Oh, look out! Juha almost came unglued of that factory KTM. He's able to hold on and complete lap 1. It is going to be interesting. There's your leaderboard. We'll be back with more GNCC on OLN when we return. Welcome back, GNCC on OLN TV, brought to you by Suzuki, ITP, Yamaha, Moose Racing, and Rocky Mountain ATV and Motorcycle. Juha Salminen is our leader. Glenn Kearney is in the number 2 position on the FMF Suzuki. Rest of the riders coming through. There's Charlie Mullins, the young rookie, only 20 years old. A solid ride today. And how about the veteran Shane Watts?
Strategy is to just go out and enjoy myself, try and ride as hard as I can and as good as I can for the day. And if that works, well, I should be in like a top 5 position for sure. But if not, well, as long as I go out and enjoy myself, that's the main thing, the main goal for me today. So if I get a good result, that's definitely just an added bonus.
Watts trying to take the pressure off his racing program. He is your GNCC champion from the year 2000, but he has struggled through a lot of injuries and problems since then. Watts is trying to rebuild himself. This is very interesting what we have here, the Yamaha Skycam. We've never had this on GNCC TV before. This is awesome. We're glad we got a helicopter up there, and they've got to keep a high elevation because it will cause some wind down there on the track. But we got the zoom lens, and we've got it zoomed in on Juha, who's leading it right now. He is U-hauling indeed out front. Earlier we got to talk to him about the racetrack.
It's not dusty, there's some moist still, and it looks really good. Yes, it's pretty fast today, I think. If you want to win the race, you have to ride every place fast. There is not any special place where you can win the race. You just have to go fast everywhere.
There it is, Juha Salminen. You see the smooth style already getting up into some slower traffic here. He's up on the pegs almost all the way around this racetrack. Wastes no energy at all. He doesn't crash, he doesn't make mistakes, and basically he's able to ride at a good, relaxed, smooth pace, and that's the key to be able to go 3 hours out here. Yes, he's fit and he's in great shape, but most importantly, he doesn't use a lot of that energy that he has, and with no one able to pressure him right now, as we can see, he's the only one on our screen. No one pushing him, no one pressuring him. He is able to ride his own race. Now we move toward our Suzuki Special Test again. Working the outside line over those poles, and we have a report we're going to go around the tires this time because of a disaster when some of our amateur riders got to that tire section a few minutes ago, and we'll check out some footage of that as Juha Salminen takes another lap. Look at what happened just a few minutes earlier before Juha got there. We had riders stacked up all over the place, and I'll tell you what, these fans at GNCC Racing love it when we get bottlenecks like this. Riders stuck everywhere, we had tires spinning. That's what it's all about in amateur competition at GNCC. We actually have a race every Sunday morning before the pros go out there. Our AM race today, 480 plus riders out there. And they all take to the woods in rows separated by only about 1 minute. The front row is the sportsman class, and that's actually a lot of mechanics and industry personnel and sponsors who need to watch the race in the afternoon but want to get some trail riding in. The rest of these guys, well, we've got the women out there, we've got some of the newcomers, but in that sportsman class, it was Alan Graven, a legend of AMA National Enduro Competition, taking the overall win, and young John Ayers Jr. taking second. And everyone else, well, they had a good time, but don't use up too much more energy because they took the gear off, and they went out there and got to play spectator for this pro race, which came up next. So congratulations to our top 3 overall. We move back to our pro class. Juha Salminen continuing to lead. He's got a giant lead as always, and this is what he does. He gets out to a nice solid lead, and now Glenn Kearney, you see how hard he's pushing. A lot of these guys are not able to go all out early in the race, and that is the difference. Now we see Mullins starting to dance his way through that section. He's hanging it out. We've got McLeavy, Watts, Lafferty battling it out here. All these guys are going, whoa, Lafferty almost threw that thing away. Go to our Yamaha replay to see how he actually caught a tree root and his tire tried to climb all the way up that tree. Lafferty just able to save that. He is your national enduro champion here in the States. But you know what? All these guys are going fast now, but none of them able to go as fast as Juha was at the beginning stages of this race. Now they're all having to deal with lap traffic, and Kearney, well, he basically has to just cross his fingers and hope that this lap traffic slows up Salminen worse than it slows up him. Doesn't look like it is, though. He had his problems. How about this? Rodney Smith has climbed all the way up into third after that first turn crash, and he's gotten around the Wonder Kid. That is Charlie Mullins, who is running in third most of the day. Watts in fifth. But you've got to be impressed what Rodney Smith has been able to do coming from last. Here's your leaderboard right now. Transition over to our youth race, brought to you by Moose Racing. We race youth early Sunday morning before that amateur race, before our pro race. Riders ages 7 to 16. We had about 150 of them out here in Georgia. So a lot of different kids learning their different sides to dirt bike racing than just going out and battling on the motocross track. It's fun, it's safe, it's fair, but it is a race. When the checkered flag came out, the overall win would go to the number 121 KTM of Corey Buttrick. But you know what? Not all these kids are out there pushing that hard. A lot of them, they just finish with a smile on their face. They're just as happy as Buttrick, who finishes with a champagne celebration on the podium. Don't worry, folks. That's non-alcoholic champagne. We're going to get back to that pro race. We will do it when we return. Welcome back. It's GNCC Racing on OLN, brought to you by Suzuki, ITP, Moose Racing, Yamaha, and Rocky Mountain ATV and MC. And our leader is the 111 of Juha Salminen. No surprise here. Salminen dominated our opening round in Florida. He is, of course, our 2005 champion. And here at round 2 in Georgia of 06, he's out front again. Now, Glenn Kearney has been charging very hard in that number 2 position. Did not see a lot of Glenn in Florida due to a crash early. Much better today here in Georgia. He's a lot more confident in these conditions than he was 1 year ago when he was a newcomer to racing here in the United States. Speaking of newcomers, how about the rookie, Charlie Mullins, a runner-up in Florida. Unbelievable, running in a podium position again. Let's talk to him.
Try and get a good start. Hopefully hook up with the front runners, be there in the end, and hopefully I'm there and maybe pull off a win. I was pretty surprised in Florida how well I ended up. I didn't expect to do that good. And now that we're back on dirt, what I've been riding all winter, I feel a little better, more confident. Hopefully I can be up there on the podium, hopefully with a win.
Well, right now going for the win is Juha. He's got a big lead. He's in the lap traffic. Let's go down to the racetrack.
Juha Salminen going by in the lead as usual, pulling away. The real question is who's going to come by in second. Juha's got tons of lap traffic in front of him, and it's starting to get dusty. Whoever puts himself in position now might be able to make a run at the midway point as they pit and get into heavy lap traffic. We'll see what happens.
Right now it is Kearney in the number 2 spot, still on that FMF Suzuki. Much better ride for him. He needs to attack now. He needs to try to close that gap on Salminen when they're into the pits and lappers. And here comes Rodney Smith in third. Smith, a former motocrosser. You see the style there as he leaps his way through this Suzuki special test. And we have not seen this kind of riding out of Rodney Smith in a long time. Last year, out with a broken leg. Struggled at our opener in Florida, but right now he's holding off Charlie Mullins in third. Here comes Kearney into the pits, out of the pits. A full tank of gas on that RM250. Now Mullins in the pit as well, and he is out. Rodney Smith right in front of him in third. Shane Watts is into the KTM pit. He's got Bart Hayes helping him out there as they gas up that KTM 200XC, but he just lost a spot. Fred Andrews charging from the back on the Monster Energy Pro Circuit. Kawasaki has taken over fifth. Since our leader Juha is gone from the pits, Rachel has made her way down to his mechanic.
Down here in the pits after the first pit with Juha Salminen, his mechanic. So how'd the pit go?
Pit goes good. There was nothing problem on the bike or anything, and we had a good gas, so we should be okay to the end.
You think anyone's going to catch up to him?
Well, hopefully not, but we never know before the race ends.
Oh, we like Ant. He's one of the good guys down there in the pits. Always fun to talk to. Thanks for the report, Rachel. And like we said, not much to report because Juha's got a lead, but look at Kearney. He is on the gas hard, and he is starting to close the gap now on Juha Salminen. And look at this battle. Rodney Smith, Charlie Mullins going at it, the 20-year-old and the 42-year-old. Rodney's won 5 titles. Mullins looking for his first ever race win. And Freddie Andrews, glad to see him climbing his way through. He's in 5th. Shane Watts there in 6th. Robbie Jenks now, first look at him today, in 7th on the number 5 KTM. And there's Mike Lafferty. We talked to Mike earlier.
I'm hoping that it's a little more wide open, and it is on the start, so I can kind of, pick my way around a little bit more. So Hopefully I can use that to my advantage, get up front, and like I say, it's before anybody, whoever's leading, kind of gets away. If there's happens to be a break, that's going to be the most important, is get up front early, get with the guys who are leading, maybe kind of chill out a little bit, pace a little bit. But I really don't think there's only going to be pacing. Whoever's out front's really going to go after it, and I think whoever that is, if they get away clean, it's going to be hard to get to them. But you know what? It's a long race. That's why it's 3 hours.
Well, unfortunately, the strategy did not work for Lafferty. He got a terrible start. He is buried, and he has not gotten a look at this guy all day long. Juha Salminen, look at the style of this guy. He's got a background in trials riding, but he's also raced a lot of motocross, so he can handle just about any type of terrain, be it high speed or slow speed. Let's go down to our KTM product spotlight.
I'm here with Jack Penton from KTM Off-Road Racing. Jack, tell us about our product spotlight today.
Well, today I'd like to talk about our amateur support that we have out here at the GNCC Racing. KTM, we bring technical people with us to help our riders in case they have a little issue or problem. We can solve it for them out here. And we also bring some parts in case they have an emergency and they need a part.
What technical support is available to KTM riders?
Well, they can come by here and we have all the tools that are necessary. We also go to the starting line and make sure that they get off to a good start down there.
I know you have some hospitality area here. What's that for?
Well, we use that for a lot of different things, but mainly we'd like our riders to come have a place to sit down, take it easy, a place that we can talk to them. Also, it's for our staff to relax, and anybody else that wants to come along and be part of the big KTM family here.
Well, thank you, Jack, and thank you for KTM for joining the GNCC series.
Welcome back, GNCC Racing. It's the Maxxis General GNCC here on OLN. Jason Wygant, your host, and Juha Salminen, your leader. Glenn Kearney has been closing the gap. He cannot quite see Juha, but the gap is down to about 30 seconds now, and it was nearly a minute early in this race. So he is on the charge. Meanwhile, Charlie Mullins, he has made the move on Rodney Smith. What happened to Rodney?
I got into third place, and I could see Glenn Kearney, my teammate, in front, and I think I just got a little over anxious and chose the wrong line. I actually cross-rutted and tagged a tree, and it knocked me a little bit silly. And from there, the last lap, I couldn't quite ride like I wanted to, and I just dropped back.
Not dropping back is Juha Salminen. Now 2 laps to go, in control. Glenn Kearney is going to have to dig down deep and go all out, heading through the Suzuki Special Test, up on the pegs. Great balance being shown by the young Australian. He is going to have to hustle, though. If he can reel in Juha late in this game, it would be a career day for him. He is yet to win a GNCC. Neither has Charlie Mullins. These are 2 of the young guys, and as some of the veterans are struggling here, there's Rodney back out on the racetrack now in the number 4 position. Rodney was up there. He said he rang his bell a bit. He's back out on the track. Lafferty, well, he's climbed his way up as well, but you know what? The mistakes these guys have made early in this race have allowed some of the younger guys to displace them and get in a podium position. And Andrews, same for him. He is a former GNCC champ. These guys are used to charging the last lap, but by the time that comes, Juha Salminen is long gone, and they've all been hard-pressed to change their strategy to go hard early in the race and basically race it like a motocross. You've got to sprint right from the start. Oh, Glenn Kearney almost off the racetrack. That was not a scheduled pit stop. He caught a rut coming out of a hard right-hand turn. Try to avoid that stuff. Let's go to our pro tip, brought to you by Rocky Mountain ATV and MC.
Hello and welcome to the Rocky Mountain ATV Pro Tip of the Week. Join with me is factory Suzuki racer William Yoakley. I know you depend on a good bike for racing. What else is important?
Well, along with a good bike, you gotta have some of the parts. And one of the first things that I do when I go racing is I get dressed, and first thing I do is put on my ARC racing gear that I get from Rocky Mountain, and put on my Scott goggles, and then I go, obviously to my GNCC ITP tires that are basically designed and developed for these type conditions. Once I get all that stuff together, I'm pretty much ready to go race.
Well, check out Rocky Mountain ATV for all your racing needs.
Thanks, Rachel. That's RockyMountainATVMC.com. That's the parts that let you go fast like these guys. Look at Juha Salminen out front, picking his way through those ruts. He is now clear of lap traffic once again. Got the suspension perfectly dialed in on that KTM. They spent a lot of time in the offseason dialing in the suspension on that bike, so he can come out here and do this. Jump the big jumps on the motocross track, yet also get over those little tree roots and rocks in the woods without upsetting the stability of that machine. And Juha's got it all working for him today. Now with a year of GNCC racing under his belt, same thing with Kearney. They are understanding these tracks and learning how to set their bikes up for it. Mullins, well, he is a rookie. He has never been at this full factory pro level before, so he is learning his lessons as well. How about Mike Lafferty? What a great charge for the veteran from New Jersey. From way back in the pack, he has moved into fourth. Last lap here, a little splash for, whoa, hey, what's going on there? Don't celebrate too quickly, almost a hug from Anton Juha. Okay, they got it dialed in now. Quick splash of gas, back on the track, and a hug from his mechanic. You know what? They'll have a couple more of those going around by the time this race is over. Kearney is not going to stop for gas. His mechanic, Shane Nally, gives him a bottle of water. He takes a drink. He throws it aside. Chaos over here in the AmPro Yamaha pits. All right, Mullins is just going to get water, not taking on gas. He is gone on this last lap. Was battling with Smith earlier. Rodney has dropped back. The only rider Mullins has to worry about now is Lafferty. Lafferty's got some time to make up, but he is hauling, and he's on a 4-stroke. Gets good mileage on the 450 XC. Does not have to stop for gas. He will try to go after Mullins on the last lap. Robbie Jenks, solid top 5 ride for him after a tough one at our opener in Florida. And Fred Andrews on the Monster Energy Pro Circuit, Kawasaki, still going strong. But no one went as strong as Juha. He outlasted him. He outsprinted them. He did it all. And Juha Salminen is your winner here at the Maxxis General GNCC. We'll meet again next week. For Rodney Smith, Rachel Ayers, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching GNCC Racing.
The Grand National Cross Country Championship is sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association. Rights, Riding, Racing. AMA. Join now.